Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And the Enforcer.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson, available wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, taped live at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steven Larson. The SmackDown WWE Draft Night 1 review is going to be available, or might be available, depending on when you're watching this, on the channel and in the audio realm. So if you want your our thoughts on that, that's on a separate video. I know both these shows air on Friday night, but we do break them up. This is, of course, as you can see around us here, the Rampage episode. And Enforcer, if you're watching on YouTube, all the friendos out there, don't be confused. I changed my camera so that we're facing each other.
Yes.
Ever since, it always bugged me that Larson and I would be facing away from each other. And then once we got it so that we're looking at each other in our boxes here, I can't deviate from that. So I set up another camera over here for Wrestle Juice when I do that stuff. But it also functions as our Unsolved Mysteries setup. Tomorrow night on the Twitch, we're going to be solving some mysteries also, Enforcer.
Don't you forget that. Yeah, that is our tradition, as much as it can fit into our schedule, is Saturday night, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Join us for some Unsolved Mysteries. But there's probably other people wondering, where's the guy who's usually sitting here with you?
Oh, man.
He decided to skip town. He was tired of this, of all of these rumors, whether he's real or not. No, just kidding, everybody. He's spending some quality time with the missus this weekend. He asked me to fill in a couple weeks ago, so here I am. He will be back soon. He'll be back for next week's start of all of the programming. So if you just bear with me for this show and the SmackDown, you'll get Larson back next week.
Ah, man, people love you and they love when you're on. I certainly do. Dad's away. We can phone these episodes in, Enforcer.
And you know what else we can do?
No rumor. He's not around, so we
not
can
around to go. Oh, shucks.
Rumor. Oh man, yeah, no, he took off. Hopefully, he's enjoying his anniversary. He did text me. He texted me after I tweeted out my disappointment that they broke up the New Day again, but we'll talk about that more in the SmackDown episode. So we're going to talk about Rampage tonight. I don't know exactly how long this review is going to be. Probably not very long, but there's some stuff we could talk about. We have the participants of the upcoming number one contendership ladder match thing that's going down soon.
Yes, for Rampage next week, they're going to have that match on Wednesday, and winner gets a title shot down the road. There were six people announced, but still one mystery joker, if you will. Yeah. So that's the big development that happened during Rampage.
So we got Pac, Andrade, Mox, Archer, Orange Cassidy, Matt Hardy, and then plus a Joker. The Joker in the last Battle Royal was Ruby Soho. The Joker, Brian Cage was a Joker.
He was, yeah.
Is the Joker always? Is he always somebody who's not in the company, who's coming to the company? Wasn't Leo Rush a Joker once or no?
I think he was. Wasn't Matt Sydal a Joker as well?
Was Matt Sydal a Joker?
I think he was. Wasn't that the one where like it was all humid and he like hopped in there and he slipped right at the beginning?
Was he the Joker in that? Oh man, yeah.
I think he might have been, yeah. And then also as we learned from Wednesday or recalled, Scorpio Sky won that grab the brass ring. One that got him a title shot as well. Yeah, and I don't think he was a Joker.
Oh, Paige was the first Joker. Okay, all right.
Okay.
That's right. So who's your number one? Who's our early pick on who the Joker is?
I'm cheating a little here in chat, but I was thinking this along the line. Anniversary show. Who's a guy that before AEW, you had to be a super hardcore fan of wrestling. You knew about Kenny, you knew about the Bucks, you knew about this. The one guy who has really brought himself up and delivered as a main eventer before he went away on the paternity leave. I think it's a Hangman Page.
Oh, you think it's Page?
I think it's Page. I think Page is coming back. Yeah, absolutely.
My guess would be this is going to be one of those ladder matches where next week you get a title shot and it's a big crock of shit because you know that it's not going to, it's not, you know who it is, man? It's, what's his name now? It's Buddy Murphy. What's
Buddy
his
Murphy?
name now?
It's gonna,
Matt something.
Buddy something or
Matthews. That's
Buddy
why I thought
Matthews.
Matt.
There
Buddy
you
Matthews.
go. Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
they're gonna. It's kind of like a Cage thing, you know. They're gonna bring him in because he's working those shows now, so you can do that. Could be Bray.
Could be a lot of people now. We're about. I think aren't we about to circle into that 90 days for the last round of people?
No. It's the end of this month.
Oh, okay. He's gonna show up on Halloween. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Buddy Matthews. Oh, Jonah Rock would be great. There's some good names here in our chat.
Yeah. Nick Gage.
Damo. Nick Gage, of course. Yeah, that'd be good.
Fuego with his new car running everybody over. That could be a possibility.
How about this? This? Joker Sting.
Oh, there you go.
I should put that in the thumbnail.
Dude, I kind of thought when Hardy hit him with the towel and sort of smeared his stuff, the next time you're going to see him was this going to be like, you know, he's going to put on the makeup, but it was going to be more like the Joker Sting we had in TNA.
Yeah.
I was hoping for that. Yeah.
Probably not. So anyways, that was good stuff. I mean, you know what, dude? This was the last hour of 4 hours that they got of wrestling.
Yeah.
They gave us a goof match at the end of Rampage.
Yes, they did.
You know, Jack Evans lost some hair. I mean, the majority, like they went on top. So now he's going to look like an idiot if he doesn't just shave it all off.
Of course. Yeah. It seemed like, especially once he started to cut, was sort of the thing that I realized when I was going bald, was that, listen, if you lose any of it, it really starts to show. So once you start cutting, you start to go, okay, male pattern baldness is hidden. This may have been his idea to chop those locks because they were getting a little thin once he started to cut up there, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. So let's just hop into it. This is probably not going to be a very long review. It kicked off with a banger. AEW, they always like kicking these things off with banger matches, man. This was Nick Jackson, my favorite Young Buck. Who's your favorite Young Buck? You like Matt or Nick?
No, I like Nick. Matt seems to Matt's the older brother, right? Yeah, I always gravitate towards the younger brother, me being the youngest of the two. I feel for Nick, and I like his work, especially when he was talking about. I know you're going to do a review of the Dark Side of the Ring. It should be up
coming up this weekend.
This weekend, when Nick and Matt were talking about Canyon. Really liked the way that Nick was talking, and I could really feel that vibe. So Nick is number one. Nick
Jackson versus Daniel Bryan. I was really looking forward to this match, and it totally delivered. I mean, this could have main evented a Dynamite. This could be a pay-per-view match. These guys really, I think it was like a solid 20-minute match. I think it was 7:20 by the time it wrapped up. As you like to say, as you said during this match, sort of sparse notes here because, and Larson mentions this also, just these matches are just tons of cool shit going on. Great technical stuff in my notes. Matt's able to sneak some shots in on Bryan on the floor. Nick gives Bryan Danielson some yes kicks. Nick ends up eating knees on a 450 attempt. He ends up getting locked into a label lock, but he finds the ropes. Bryan Danielson's given Nick some kicks on the apron near the ring post. Nick's able to dodge the last one, and Danielson hits the ring post while trying to kick Nick. At one point, Nick is going for like a PK on Danielson, but ends up PKing Cutler right in the face instead.
Oof,
in the end, though, Daniel Bryan got the win with cattle mutilation. Stellar match. After the match, you have Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, that dude Christian. They all come down because the rest of the Elite had come down to check on Nick, but they weren't messing with Bryan Danielson, and so they took issue with the cavalry coming in just to make sure things were cool. Brawl broke out. Jungle Boy ended up putting Adam Cole in a snare trap, and then Kenny runs in to try to save him. Bryan Danielson gets him down in a lock, so they're facing each other, and he starts tapping out. It was some pretty good goofy stuff there to start the show.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the both of them were tapping face to face. So yeah, and I was joking that probably on Dynamite we're gonna get a Jungle Boy and Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega and Adam Cole. If that happens, you heard it here first.
Yeah, that's not just reckless. Well, it is just reckless speculation, but it's educated speculation. Seems like it might happen, but it's a stacked Rampage next week. We had a video promo, lots of video promos tonight. We had a video promo where Hobbs and Hook intro a new short film from Ricky Starks. Now, this made me very happy because when I learned about Ricky Starks, when he showed up in the NWA, I got on his Twitter, and one of his pinned tweet of his was like this cool looking like short promo cinematic film thing that he had made. But the actual cinematography and camera work was just stellar. It was like something that was like out of the indie film world. It looked great. And this was similar to that.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
It was more car commercial than wrestling promo. But I say that in a good way because some of those car commercials, like the McConaughey car commercials,
they're clean. Yeah. They're shot well, lit well. I mean, you're selling a car. Yeah. And in this case, it seemed like Ricky Stark was selling himself, that vibe of like, dude, like a Cage, like you ain't worth it, man. And that's what it just seemed like, that air of arrogance that Ricky Stark carries with himself in this promo. I thought was better than what they were usually doing, where they're battling each other, but they're not in the same room yet. It seems like they're talking to each other. This one was clean shot. Well, especially that view where it panned out of that all glass a wall where he's just going down the stairs heading into the car, and then it went into like a insurance company commercial in there, and we're like, wait, hold on, is this, wow, man, this thing just like blended right, it just
thought it was the same thing.
It's great. It's good though.
But so he just says basically he says, excuse me if he says him and Cage are not the same, there's such a gap between us, and he says, excuse me if I seem pissed off. Just because you're bigger doesn't mean you can whip anybody's ass. I'm not going to let a cornball like you beat me down. But there's still no word on when this match is going to take place, which is, I think, we're all anxiously awaiting, some sort of date on when.
Are we though? Are we? I'm of the mindset where it's like, I could take or leave this match if they give us this match. Yeah. Sure. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. But also I think, Ricky Stark, we could do something else. Team Taz, we can do something else.
Just don't have the match.
Yeah, just don't, or like I even said, circle back around, 3 or 4 years down the road. Say, hey, you remember how we had beef about 3 or 4 years ago? Yeah. Do you want to squash it now?
Wow. So like layaway is what you're looking for.
yes. You pay $3 a month for 18 years.
One promo a month for 3 years, and then you bought yourself a match.
Absolutely. Then there may be enough. Like. Then you may actually have enough heat to actually care enough about this match, or you just hotshot it, since this seems to be the era for it. Just hotshot it, get the match over after you've done these cool cinematic promos. Yeah. Then away you go.
No, I'm with you, man. Look, there's one reason why I want this match, because Brian Cage shouldn't be having his wife tweet stuff and him going in interviews saying Tony Khan shouldn't be running creative by himself. And then I want to see how this match is going to turn out.
Oh man, I really hope it ain't gonna be like one of those ones where he just takes like chair shot after chair shot and he's written off for good.
Could you imagine if Tony was like that?
Could you imagine if he was that vindictive? Like he thinks, he thinks everything is cool. Everyone's like massaging his ego, saying everything's great. The first guy to fucking say, you know what, man, I think you got too much on your plate. Whack, chair shots. You're just eating tables. You're just everything's a lights out match.
He's like, listen. He sits him down. He's like, listen, guys, here's the deal. I feel like we need to up the violence for this match. And they're like, what are you talking about? We've done lights outs. We've done like massively violent matches. Like, that's nothing compared to the beatdown you're going to get. He's like, me? What, you mean both of us? No, it's going to be exclusively you, buddy.
It's you. Yeah. You're eating all of this, homie.
So after that, we had a pretty violent match of its own. Jade Cargill. Oh, no, I'm sorry. There was a CM Punk.
Before the CM Punk one.
Yeah, that's right. He got his own little video promo where he talked about, I'm happy. All the fans see me happy. But you know what? It's time to start getting to business. I have a giant target on my back. I'd rather take too big he's talking about Hobbs here. He says, I'd rather take too big a bite and choke on greatness than starve. And choke on greatness than starve on mediocrity.
Yes.
He says, whomever decides to step up, nap time is always on the menu. So who do you think is going to be the first person now that Hobbs is done? Who's going to be the first guy to step up to him?
He's going to be the first one. I mean, are we thinking about like an actual like program for him, or like sort of like, okay, this is the first dude, like after he's got the microphone, someone rolls out and then quickly gets dispatched of?
You could do it either way. I mean, what MJF is about to get into a protracted thing with Darby Allin. That means it's going to go a long time. And so unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be MJF. We're talking about Punk. Who are you going to say? Almas?
I was going to think Pac. I'd love to see those two.
Pac would be great, but I think him and Almas are still going to have a thing. But Pac, I mean, dude, it's all just a line of dream matches.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, Berwini's got it right. Still with Team Taz, Hook. It's got to be Hook, right?
Yeah, Hook. It really should be Hook.
Or is that the main event of a double or nothing? I think that's
what would be killer? Would be, because we found out tonight in a promo later, Malachi Black is done with the Nightmare Family. Now, we'll just fast forward really quick. We'll get back to the match in a second, but
we'll circle back around.
Later on, we had a Malachi Black promo who said, he's talking about Cody. He says, I hope what I did seeps into every part of your existence and consumes you alive. But I've grown weary of the Nightmare Family. There are others in this company that need their souls collected. And he turns around and he walks away. So it does seem to confirm what we had speculated about on Wednesday. It seems like the damage has been done. He has infected the Nightmare Family. Now they just have to deal with Arn and his Glock.
Arn and his Glock. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it really seems like he just basically said, like, almost like how the Fiend would do it. And I don't want to correlate Malachi Black with the Fiend, but much like how we've always said, when you fight the Fiend, you're changed afterwards. You saw with Malachi Black after he was done and he ran through with Dustin, with Lee Johnson, with Arn, with Brock, with Cody. All of them are like just sort of like at each other's throat, or their separation now. That was all Malachi Black's doing. So he's basically scorched the earth and moved on, which I am all down with.
I love that. I love that a lot. Yeah, I could, dude, him and Punk, that could be a ton of, I mean, talk about getting serious and things stepping up a notch. That could be something I'd be really interested in. Two of my favorite guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had that match, the Jade Cargill, Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose match. Kind of surprising. I would have figured, we were talking about this during the match, Nyla Rose would have taken the pin here, given that Jade Cargill, Thunder Rosa, both are wrestlers that kind of need to be protected. But the finish, which after Nyla Rose got power bombed by Thunder Rosa off the apron, through a table on the floor, which was rough. After that happens, Jade gets Thunder Rosa, who's trying to get Nyla Rose back in the ring. Yeah. She grabs Thunder Rosa and starts wailing on her with a chair, some very professional, safe-looking chair shots, which was enough for the pin. I'm always a bigger fan of, you're going to drop a bunch of chair shots, then you finish them off with your finisher, and then you get the pin. But you can't argue with like 10 chair shots.
Yeah. It's I think what happened was that Jade got the chair slid into her from Smart Mark. And then he was directing traffic. Say he hit her a couple of times, and then he said, "Hit her again." And then that's when it was the last one. Then he pinned her. So I found that odd. Yeah, you didn't get the finisher. You didn't get that because you're already beaten down. It doesn't matter who eats the pin at that point. You've already basically dispatched of them. I did find it a little odd that it just went to chair shot, chair shot, chair shot, take a beat, another chair shot, eat a pin. But it protects everybody. Nyla was out of it from a power bomb through a table from the second a rope. Thunder Rosa ate a bunch of chair shots. Jade Cargill gets the win. And good match. We'll move on to the next one. I don't think there's too much damage that can be done from this.
Yeah. And Jade is now 18-0, according to Maddie Daddy here in chat. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, Thunder Rosa, obviously, I feel like Nyla Rose is sort of, the odd woman out here. She got powerbombed through a table, and Jade Cargill took a chair to Thunder Rosa. I don't know if they want to keep up with Thunder Rosa, given that they're really trying to push Jade Cargill, because you don't want to ruin Rosa too much.
Yeah.
So who knows how that's going to end up. But I don't know how much longer they can keep Jade away from a title shot, without her just racking up victory after victory without getting a title shot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the precedent is for if you get to a certain amount of matches, then you're deemed qualified to be like the number one contender that gets a title shot. No, she's 18-0, but I know that Sheeta's like about to get her 50th win. But I know she was the champ, but I don't know if I would really like to know like how they weight the wins. Was this win in a triple threat no DQ match worth more than racking up 8 wins on Dark and Dark Elevation?
It probably is on par because like the Guns have like 35, 38 wins or whatever. It's like 26, I think. Yeah. On like Dark and Elevation, and like you never see them. They had like one promo on Dynamite. That's it.
Yeah.
So anyways, so after that Malachi Black promo, we had a video recap package for Sammy Guevara. He confirmed Bobby Fish is going to be taking him on I think Dynamite this week.
Dynamite, yes, it is. Yes,
and exciting stuff.
And if you want a fish on a T-shirt, go and pick up Bobby Fish's because it says Bobby Fish. There's a fish on it. How nice.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's awesome. After that, we had one of those awesome Rampage split-screen interviews for their main event, interviewed by Mark Henry. Matt Hardy does most of the talking for Jack Evans. He says, our mood is great. This whole thing was Jack's brilliant idea. And, of course, Jack's like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about here, man?
He says, so I won't deprive him of the opportunity to turn Orange Cassidy into a bald-headed bum. Then he goes over to Orange Cassidy, and he's like, what are your thoughts? And he's like, wait, what? What is this match? And he's like, Mark Henry explains it to him. He's like, if you lose a match, you have your hair cut off. And he's like, oh, well, then I guess I'm not going to lose then. And he just walks away.
Yeah.
So
and then of course Mark Henry said, the time for talking's over, man.
Yeah.
Let's get to our main event.
It's time for the main event. Time for talking's over. That's my favorite. I got to make that into a ringtone.
But yeah, as you pick up a phone, the time for talking's over. Hello.
Okay. Bye. So we had that match, Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. It was fine. This is a clown show. I'll be honest. This is like the most WWE Raw match. How many times I lost count? How many times did Jack Evans do some move and he just ended up eating shit?
I know early on there were 2 right off the gate where Orange is basically matrix his way like off to the side a bit, and then boom, just face first for Jack Evans. Then he goes to the other side. Boom, then he gets to just dump, like he just eats it right there again. And then there was one where he did some sort of like twisting move on the top rope, ate shit. There was one like on the ring apron down to the floor. He should have ate shit, but he ate it from Orange Cassidy's knees. I could see his like Jack Evans like neck just sort of like snapped back a bit when he got hit. That legit looked like that thing sucked.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, in the end, you know how this went. Hardy family office, everyone rolled out there. The Butcher in a beautiful OG white Mickey Mouse t-shirt looked great. This big old beard with this like super kid t-shirt looked great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And then Dark Order strolled out there with the best friends, sort of created a wall between them as Jack Evans and Orange Cassidy were in the ring. Hardy decides, hey, we have to cut bait here, guys. Let's retreat. And they're all like, "What? What are you doing here?" Orange hits him with that super punch. Bam! 1, 2, 3. Out come the Clippers. They put up, and as you said, Chuck Taylor looking like a legit barber. Like he looked clean.
He actually looked like a barber. Yeah.
Looked beautiful there. And then he's Jack Evans is in the chair, out of it. Out come the Clippers. Orange Cassidy actually does cut his hair. We kind of were joking like, well, he was so not caring about this match, he'd get the pin and walk away.
Yeah, or he'd take like a little snip of hair, which when they took like just the tip of his ponytail and held it up, I thought that was going to be it. Yeah. But no, Wheeler Yuta took the Clippers and they started clipping it, and Chuck Taylor had some.
Yeah. Yeah, so, they passed it around and everyone got a run on it. Yeah,
exactly. Let's see here. We have 2 whopping questions here on the Patreon for this. I should remind everybody out there, by the way, patreon.com/Stephen Larson. We have a new top score in the numbers. Don't lie. Our Thursday bonus show on the Patreon, patreon.com/Stephen Larson. You can vote on Going In Raw math for the wrestlers that are chosen every single week. And then we tape it live, of course, on Thursdays. This week, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Strong numbers.
Yeah.
Man. Strong.
The new top scorer. He beat Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is number 1. Now it's Stone Cold is the new number 1. But find out what his score is. You can get to that. Patreon.com/Stephen Larson, $5 a month. And not only do you get that, if you enjoy the show in the audio realm, you can actually grab the RSS feed from the show, put it into your favorite podcast app that isn't called Spotify, because I don't think they do that. But most other podcast apps, you can import an RSS feed. You get Going In Raw completely ad-free, no commercials, and the bonus episodes in audio form completely ad-free. You can also get just the show with no bonus content ad-free at goinginraw.supercast.tech if you are listening to this in the audio realm. So there you go. Let's see if there's some more questions here on the Twitch. Oh, we got a gifted sub here from Busy K-Flay. Thank you very much, Busy.
Thank you, Busy.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it as always. Thank you. 25 gifted. Thank you so much. Shane's birthday tweet has one here. It says, as much as I love how AEW focuses on tag team wrestling, how long is the HFO and everyone involved going to be together, or do they just become a tag version of Stark and Cage, where they? I think that they occupy a area on the roster that is very important, which is your mid card catch-all.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whether it's a tag, you got Butcher and Blade. If it's the
Private Party,
if you got Private Party,
you got 3 tag teams. Yeah,
they got tag teams. They can peel off. Imagine if they ever get a trios, you get one from each one, or you add one from the other ones.
Yeah.
Add a little bit of intrigue there. I like Hardy Family Office the way they are. You don't take them too seriously. They can still get a bit of a win if it's by nefarious means. I think they kind of stay together because AEW loves to sort of keep everybody together, keep the factions. We always think, is FTR there with the Pinnacle? They even said, as they were in their promo on Wednesday, they said, they even mentioned that they're in the Pinnacle. It doesn't matter, all this other stuff. They're still there. Yeah. So I like the way that they do that, and I would like to keep them together. If you run in a big clique, you're going to get airtime. I always worry about the ones that aren't associated with a clique. You kind of may fall through the cracks.
Yeah, I think I'd give it I don't know, next year, maybe you'll see a couple. Like at some point, Private Party needs to do more stuff. At some point, Butcher and Blade probably need to do better stuff. TH2 is probably fine in the Hardy family office. They admitted they had hard times coming up with creative stuff for themselves. So I would say at some point you're going to see Private Party break away. They were the first ones to be with the Hardy family office.
Yeah.
You're going to see them break away first. I would say sometime in the next 6 months that'll probably happen. But yeah, they'll just replace them with like Top Flight or something like that.
Yeah, of
and
course,
they'll just be the big play. Like you said, the catch-all, you just have a bunch of people who otherwise wouldn't get TV time, but they'll always be featured in some way because they do that with the Hardy family office. And maybe when Jeff Hardy's out of his contract, he can come and add a little bit more dimension to it, a little more drama. He could do some funny stuff as Itchweed or something like that.
I think so. Yeah, that would actually make sense, especially since such a high third round draft pick being moved over to AEW. Oh man, could you imagine the coup that they would get from that? Oh my goodness.
Time, yeah. Dang MQ says the Chugs. Shout out to the Chugs. Streamed during the Rampage watch along. Kayfabe reason he was streaming and was on Rampage at the same time.
Oh man, this is simple, man. There's a real Chugs. There's a fake Chugs.
Oh
and
yeah, like Larson.
And they didn't get their timing right. One of them goofed up. Yeah. There's someone in the Mountain Time Zone and there's someone in the Eastern Time Zone.
I just think, dude, that Chugs is Chugs and Adam Cole is Adam Cole. They're two completely different people. They just look vaguely familiar. They look kind of the same.
I mean, especially like if you hear one talking, one is very much more gentle than the other. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think they just look alike. I think that's all that is.
Yeah. This is a great question. We'll end with this one. Tomorrow Fight says, who would you choose for a House of Black faction? And by the way, thank you, Hugh Long Heavy, filling us in for chat for what happened after the show. Who would you choose for a House of Black faction? I would go with Lee Johnson because he's a guy that needs to get out of Cody Island. Yeah. And Malachi Black had a match with him and he offered him up the chair and he was going to use it. I feel like he should take him. That's the toll that he gets from Cody Island. He gets Lee Johnson. You choose the second member.
There you go. I mean, along with that, someone else that needs to get off of Cody Island, and he showed he's as much of an OG as there is, and that's Arn. Arn and his Glock rolls out there, and he's leaning. It's like I've seen what you can do, Black. Okay, I can see the way that you lead people, and that's the kind of stuff I want for myself and Lee.
That's good.
We're going to bring that Waffle House menu to you along with my Glock.
I like that. I like that a lot.
There you go. I like that.
I'm going to say also, what about this? What about Julia Hart? Because she's with Pillman and Griff.
Yeah.
But her thing is like, they're like sort of innocent high school. Too old for high school. Like she's a cheerleader, right?
Yeah.
What better way to sort of, what better 180 would there be from like cheerleader to like, whatever the hell, like goth weirdo,
Black Swan.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
Black Swan.
That's good. Go. Oh, that's like really good. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that, man. We're booking it right here.
We're booking it right here. We're doing it. Why don't they take our ideas? They're free. They can use them.
I know. They're right here. I mean, they're just out in the ether. Do something with it.
Right.
Come on, do something.
All right, man. That's going to do it. Hey, dude, thanks so much for hanging in with us today. And thanks for about to start the SmackDown one also.
Of course. Yeah. I ain't going anywhere yet, but for the people that are just following Rampage reaction or review, thank you so much. We'll catch you guys later.
We'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye.